Hey everyone, you have reached the landing, OnePlanet's weekly meeting place for the entire Polygon NFT community. Every week at this time, you will learn more about the Polygon network, its native token Matic, and discuss the wonderful world of NFTs with some of the best and brightest minds from the NFT universe. And now, here's your host.
Planet's the place to be to showcase your NFTs. Best blockchain is Polygon. OnePlanet want to be on, yeah.
Now, to get us started, Narb, will you share some of the milestones, some stats that you watched over the week with Polygon?
Absolutely. So I have some stats here and then some news. First, the Polygon POS chain is currently averaging around 470,000 users per day. It continues to rise over the past few months, and also around 3 million daily transactions. The POS chain has also passed 2.6 billion total transactions and continues to hold a market cap of over 10 billion. Moving on to the Polygon ZK EVM, the Polygon ZK EVM TVL is nearing 3 million just 1 week after launching on mainnet, and over 10,000 users have used the Polygon ZK EVM bridge, and those are real users, not users just trying to farm an airdrop. Now on to some news. Polygon is creeping up on that number 2 spot in NFT volume, just behind Ethereum. Over the past 24 hours, Solana saw 1.6 million in volume, and Polygon saw 1.3 million in volume. So that gap there is closing. Over 80% of Utes have now bridged over to Polygon, and the Utes remain in the number 1 spot in volume for Polygon NFT collections for the past 24 hours. The Trump NFTs on Polygon surged in volume as the former president was arrested yesterday, and this caused an increase of 250% in sales. So congrats to all the Trump NFT holders. And then lastly here, just wanted to give a shout out to the Polygon Village. The Polygon Village has made its return as the new and improved voucher system is being tested out. So if you are a project on Polygon interested in applying for a voucher, definitely check that program out because it can be very beneficial to your project.
All right, thank you for that, Narb. You know, it's interesting. I remember seeing a chart. You know how on Google you can look for trends, you can search what the trends are. There was this giant spike when the Trump NFTs first minted. And like, I mean, the spike was ridiculous, but everybody was on Google searching Trump NFTs. And so I think this is an interesting case study of how the in real life story is affecting the digital story of NFTs, and that's going to be cool to watch play out. You know, I feel like essentially it's a tokenized life of Trump, and whatever happens to him, good or bad, there's going to be a reaction to that on the NFTs.
100%. I don't know how actually involved he is in this project. Like I don't really know if he knows what's going on. Like obviously, like with the day-to-day stuff there, he probably doesn't even know what the price of these things are, to be honest. Even though he did make a video like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, like you said, if no matter what happens here, he's been released now, but he gets arrested, runs for president, wins president, like anything that he does, these things are going to move. And honestly, they've been holding really, really strong for a long time now, around 0.5 ETH. And they've been one of the most traded collections on Polygon too. So yeah, I mean, these types of, no matter what political views you have, this type of in real life thing is good for the space. And it got a lot of eyeballs on Polygon NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely think it onboarded new users into NFTs, and maybe they didn't fully buy one, but at least they searched and they were trying to learn about it. So I think that was a net positive in general. Anybody here? We also have a new speaker. Just want to check in with you. Fear My NFT. Do you want to just introduce yourself? How's your day going?
Hey, yeah, my name is Fear, my NFT, and for you guys who don't know me, my name is Jason, so you can call me either one. Just don't say weird things like Fear my Jason. It's going very well. Today is a beautiful day here where I live.
Awesome, cool. Well, thanks for that intro. Anybody have any thoughts, any comments on any of the information that Narb shared?
I think it's always cool when Narb shares his information because it's it's got such a way of putting the information across in kind of this news with a crypto twist format that it just puts you at ease and makes you feel like you're kind of at home, you know. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for saying that.
Facts.
Go ahead, Fear My NFT.
I'll say this, over this, I've only been in the space for a little over a year now, and at the beginning of that year, I knew nothing, absolute zero about cryptocurrency, NFTs, anything like that, and now I do. And I got to say, my wife and I were talking. We've got some stuff coming up, and we've already invested into crypto, and this is where we're going to invest now for the rest of our lives, is into cryptocurrency. And I'm 50, about to turn 51, and so we understand that this is a real deal. And I was telling her, watching the price of these things rise, and I'm like, it is such a shame that we are such a small percentage of people who actually believe in what cryptocurrency is capable of and what it's doing. And so I'm thankful for good information, because it sets your mind at ease. It lets you know that you made the right choice. And so, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And that's why I wanted to have somebody like Narb and give him a special segment here just so that he can share some of the information that he is following, because I like entertainment, but at the same time, I like value in knowing important information, and so just knowing some of those milestones that Polygon reaches, even just with the transactions in the POS chain and the bridging to zkEVM, like all that stuff. To me, it's important to at least have an overview, even if I don't understand all of the details that are going on there, just to know that people are using that, right? And there's some objective numbers to follow and track. To me, that's very valuable. So I hope that our listeners can feel the same way. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I definitely appreciate what Narb shared, and to the commenters on point, we need to be cognizant of the fact that we are still way early. When you look at, they've done trend analysis of cryptocurrency compared to other things, and cryptocurrencies are currently on a trajectory that is steeper than what the internet was in a similar situation. And so, as much as I'd like a lot more users and a lot more money into this, we are so early, and there is nothing but up for us.
Yeah, go ahead, Ghost.
Yeah, I want to say that I appreciate the data that NARB brings, because NARB looks at things on a different side than what I do. I mostly see on the NFT gaming side. But by getting these data points of the influx of transactions coming in, it's not like Polygon has that DeFi environment like it had about a year or two ago. So seeing that cash flowing into actual transactions and into purchasing NFTs, it's eye-opening.
Yeah, and there's more liquidity coming in from a lot of other chains, right? Like earlier, I saw Rekt Berserker mention something about his ETH Alpha group talking about an NFT project, and that they were gonna come in and buy them, right? And so just like see, I saw somebody else talking about Cardano, people coming into Polygon to trade NFTs, and so we're seeing Stargaze come into Polygon. So it's been interesting to watch kind of the hub and spoke model, but from the direction of a lot of other chains coming into Polygon, bridging in. So that's been interesting. I'll go ahead, Matic Man, and then we got Terrapins.
Yeah, growing up, a lot of people have a favorite news channel and they gravitate toward a favorite news anchor, and he becomes the trusted voice. and you turn it on every day to get the latest what's going on in the world. When I first got into the Polygon ecosystem, it was actually Matic at the time, and Narb was doing a daily YouTube video, and that really helped get me grounded in Polygon, like the why of Polygon. Why should I choose this blockchain? It was small at the time, wasn't a lot of hype around it, and I know Narb grinded for years just putting out that content, and man, you have no idea how many people you helped sell. I know you weren't trying to sell, but just by your content, by the information you shared, how many people are with Polygon today because you were willing to put in the work. So, man, I'm not putting any pressure on you at all, but I'd love to see that happen again, where there was some regular content from the GOAT going out.
Hey, man, I really appreciate all those kind words, and I definitely wish that I was able to still do those daily. Obviously, I got caught up in a lot of different, work things within Web3, so I wasn't able to, to keep out the daily videos as much. But I definitely do plan to sort of get back into that, sort of back to the roots of where I started, because I really enjoyed doing that. But yeah, you're totally right. Back then, there just wasn't a whole lot of people talking about it, and I guess from my perspective, I just sort of saw where things were heading, and Polygon itself made sense to me because I saw that blockchains need scaling. Layer 2s made sense to me. ZK technology made sense to me. So I really just started talking about it. And I remember talking to you, Matic Man, back in, 2021, maybe it was early 2021, whatever it was. And, you were kind of asking me for advice, and then just watching you go from like 200 followers to now whatever you have, like over 10,000 followers. It's been awesome to watch your journey too, man. So congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. And you've been a big part of that. Always will appreciate that.
And one thing that I was telling Narb earlier is that there's different layers of content, right? There's this very superficial content that almost feels like it's specifically meant to get engagement. And then there's the other layer, which is value. Like the content creators are not really looking for just the engagement. They're actually trying to provide education and doing the proper research so that you can be more informed about the investments that you make. And I think that's just something that I feel like we need more in this space. And I know that Narb has been able to do that, as you guys are, kind of mentioning, like what makes the blockchain in general a better investment long term. Terrapins, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as the new guy around here, I was here last week, here this week. It's really nice to be able to have such a great summary of everything that's going on, so that I can be head down focused on what we're trying to accomplish and get done within our team, and then come hang out in the spaces like this, and in 2, 3, 4 minutes, catch up on why everything around me is happening the way that it is. Because right now I'm just looking at that one thing that I'm doing, but you're in the whole space and you need to know. And it's great to be able to just get those headlines so clearly and succinctly. It's very impressive.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think curation is such a huge value add to the ecosystem because there is a lot of noise in general, and there's so much going on with NFTs and DeFi, and there's more competition with new marketplaces and new places to lend and borrow. And so just kind of having somebody that you can go to, and having one account that you can go to and get most of the important information is super valuable. We'll go with Ghost for the market update, and then I'll check in with Coleman for some updates from the baby bulls, and then just a question in general with the main topic today, building against the odds. I want to hear a little bit more about consistency, right, and being resilient. And I've been seeing you on Spaces constantly, so just a little bit of a deep dive on that would be good. Ghost, market updates from you, sir.
All right, so market updates for week 14. Can't believe it's been 14 weeks since we've been going live. So Hellcats reclaimed #1 spot with over 6,000 Matic volume. We also had Zoid's free mint happen last week. With that, they have a live competition going on with a 30,000 prize pool. So if you're down to go play with your Zores that you minted for free last week, that's where you can go. We also have Polygon Apes with their rebranding, and they're coming back strong with a 23% increase in floor price. We also got news in the past few days that Derby Star has added a new track. It looks really nice. Get your horses ready because they have announced an upcoming alpha, no date yet. Also, if you're ever wondering when you'll get some liquidity for your illiquid JPEGs, Pine Protocol started working with Polygon NFTs. So you can pull them together. You can even make your own pool, lend out funds. So if you have an upcoming mint that you're lacking any funds, put up your illiquid JPEGs up for collateral, or maybe somebody else can lend some money towards you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ghost. Oh, go ahead.
And then I want to add, Edwin, that word is spreading around about OnePlanet. All these movements that have been happening, people are catching wind in different discords. New projects that have recently minted in different platforms and cross-chain. So people are catching wind of OnePlanet. It's only a matter of time before more and more projects start coming in.
Well, thank you for saying that, man. I definitely try to do my own research and just kind of look around different discourses being said about OnePlanet. But yeah, this week has been super busy for us. We had the Polygon Game On launchpad for their silver and their gold collections. We had Zoids and we had the Hava mini planets, and all three of them went pretty well. We have the Heroes coming up in 2 days. So yeah, man, we also had our troubles in the beginning for sure, but what's important is that we're learning from our mistakes, right? And we have our checklist that we continue to build upon so that we can make sure that we are not making the same mistake. So, but thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and personally, just reaching out to anyone listening now or listening in the future. OnePlanet has worked hand in hand with us in Rekt Gang. We're customizing different things. We have the Trippy experience coming out next week. But not only that, you have a marketplace that can cater to your needs. If you need to use your token to be able to purchase, I mean, I personally get excited seeing all these games coming into the marketplace because it gives an additional utility to the game's token.
Yeah, and that's ultimately, we think that long term, that's ultimately what's going to set the NFT technology apart, right? Just how can we continue to add utility to them, and it's mostly going to be through gaming. And we have Terrapins here who have a game, and Coleman, I know you guys have mentioned working on a game as well, so maybe you guys would want to share a little bit about that. But thank you, Ghost, once again. I appreciate that. I'm definitely excited about the Trippy experience. I think people are going to really find that entertaining. It's something that I haven't been involved before with NFTs, so it's going to be a first experience for me. So looking forward to that next week. All right, so Coleman, if you want to get us started here, the goal topic today is building against the odds. But yeah, just an intro about maybe baby bulls and resiliency and consistency.
Yeah, totally appreciate that. Totally appreciate you giving me the time again, Edwin, as well. And appreciate everyone in the space here today. Some of whom have been really, really supportive of our project and really made it a lot easier to build and not so much against the odds, which has been awesome for us, really. Yeah, I mean, I'll just give a very brief sort of thing, elevator go, but not really a pitch as much because we're all kind of friends in this space. I think everyone knows who we are, where we've come from, and kind of what we've been through and stuff. So I don't want to dwell on that too much and just talk a little bit more about the future. We've got our mint coming up, which is a remint of 2,347 baby balls, which never made the arc, never made the OnePlanet arc, unfortunately. So, in fact, it was a little bit more than that, but we made a decision as a team. I suggested that we burnt a few baby balls to bring the collection down to a nice even 8,069, which I think is just a little bit more manageable and realistic than a 10K collection for us going forward. So yeah, that's what we've done, and yeah, really excited. We've got the excited for the mint. It's been a while. The last time we minted was like 2021, and sort of the beginning of 2022. So for me, it's like I feel all those little butterflies and things again, and I'm like, yeah, it's mint time, even though it's free. So I'm like, I'm getting hyped over my own free mint. I'm like, what's going on? But anyway. So yeah, we've got that coming first week of May, and we've been. What's really made it easier for us, certainly, is partnering with OnePlanet, coming through Polygon Studios, obviously, and OnePlanet together. As I mentioned the other day, yesterday in a space, sat down with us, had a look at our treasury and our situation financially after the Terra collapse, and just liked what we've been doing and liked our energy, liked the vibe, and just said, look, guys, appreciate that you've done so much for charity in the last year. So we can help you. There's a grant available, a little bit of money that we can help you to get back on your feet, bring you over here. We believe in you, and just having that, support to help us back in September to just get over onto the Polygon chain and get some development going and start moving forward with, okay, we lost a lot of our roadmap. When we moved over to Polygon, we had to really make some changes and pivot, as they say, to coin a phrase. But yeah, for us, building against the odds, sort of going on topic a little bit, having that support network, having that kind of safety net to fall back on that was provided in those early couple of months by OnePlanet and Polygon. If you can hear snoring in the background, by the way, that is my Cavalier. That's my dog. She is snoring so loud, and I apologize. So if you can hear her, but I don't have the heart to go and wake her up. I won't do it. So guys, you're gonna have to live with the snoring. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah, that's my life. That's snoring dogs and everything else. But yeah, it's been anyway. I digress as usual. But getting back on topic, I think building it, coming over to Polygon and having that support network in place, being honest with our community about the moves that we were making. Some of it wasn't, met with positivity. When we initially said we had NFTs that had been left on Terra, we didn't really know what we could do. We would leave them for several months and then perhaps look at reminting them or offering the possibility of reminting. It wasn't met, with complete positivity. So we had to be honest and, reveal our future plans a little bit and say, okay, well, look, we're probably going to be looking at making it a free mint. So anyone who didn't manage to bring their baby bull over at that time, and there has been a lot starting to come through now, saying, we didn't really have a chance to bring our baby bulls over. We didn't really understand what was happening at that time. And having that mint now as a free mint has enabled me to give them whitelist now for the mint and put those baby bulls back in their hand. Not the exact baby bulls, because that's impossible, but at least it's given me the opportunity to say, look, guys, appreciate it. You've not been around, you've not been in our Discord or whatever, but we've been able to give them whitelist for the remint and, do it that way. So, yeah. Sorry if I've gone on. I always go on. Matic Man usually helps me out and sort of gives me some sort of kind of interruption and says, Coleman, or something, some kind of guidance. But yeah, that's where we're at, guys. And we're really excited. I'm, guys, those of you that know me know that I'm really excited about the mint, and I'm excited about what's happening over the next few months for baby bulls. We've got big plans. Oh yeah, we've got our developer back on track, and we've got a game, our mini game, which we're developing at the moment to go towards our suite of mini games, which we've had planned for a long time, it seems. The original game that we had planned over on Terra, we had already paid for it, of course, and you all know that story. So to actually have that contract in place and have a developer working with myself day to day. And we really are going backward and forward on not just this game, but future mini games that we've got planned for the baby balls and stuff. So, yeah, it's really cool. It's a good time at the moment. I'm in a happy space, so it's great.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Coleman. I think, for me, one thing that has been interesting to watch in general is the attention to detail that you're doing with your community. Like even that, right? That you are still trying to help people that were not paying attention when the migration happened, right? And there were many people that left the space that were in our communities last year after the Terra crash, and there was a lot of us that stayed, right? We were full-time Web3, so we were kind of forced to like survive and stick around in order to continue to take care of our lives outside of Web3, right? But I think, you know, just being able to identify those scenarios where there were issues, and then trying to figure out how to continue to support those people that supported you in the beginning, I think that goes a long way, right? And ultimately, if you want to think long term here, you need to be able to customize things and identify issues and pivot and seize opportunities. And you know, to me, just it seems like you're definitely spending a lot of time there. And I think most founders here do that, right? Like you have to do that. You have to think about, you know, if your mint's not going well, what kind of incentives can I create to continue to push it forward, right? Or if you're already minted out, okay, you know, now it's time to build on the roadmap and talk with your community about your vision and making that come to life. And so it does take a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I couldn't agree more. And I was talking to Troglodytes the other day about this. And I said, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was talking to them, and I said that we just developed or are developing in the process of developing an internal fund within the Baby Balls, because one thing that we didn't do is we were really good at donating outside of our project. But, and I was saying this the other day, is that there was so much hurt and a lot of pain within the project that we were all supportive, and obviously everyone was helping each other out. We didn't really, on an individual basis, it's really tough to notice people who are having a hard time. So yeah, we just thought about it the other day, and I said, look guys, this is silly. Like, we're a project that is focused on helping people less fortunate. We've got people in our community, like actually right here on our doorstep, that are, you know, having difficulties with some grocery bill here and there, maybe diapers for the kids, maybe just that little bit of respite, just that little bit, you know, just that $100 here and there. So that's what we're working on at the moment. We're working on an internal fund right now. I'm doing it as I'm including the whole community in the development of this. So what I did is I threw the idea out in general chat. Instead of like discussing it as a team internally, I just said, I've got this idea, put it in general chat in the Discord and said, look guys, what do you make of this? And the community have been amazing. They just all pulled together and said, yeah, let's do it. This is brilliant. And they've been awesome. Like, all the guys have just chipping in with ideas. And so we're just making this fun. We're going to try and help our community out from, you know, internally, and yeah, just work it out from there, really. And that to me is what an absolutely amazing organic way to create utility for your token. And that wasn't even my goal. I wasn't even thinking, oh, what can I do as an extra utility for Baby Balls today? I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just thinking, like, I saw some conversation with a guy who was talking about an electricity bill he'd received. It was a nightmare, and he had to find money. And I just thought, well, we could do, you know, you're a community member, you're holding Baby Balls. I mean, even if we work something out, like he puts them up as collateral or whatever, we can do something, surely. So yeah, that's what we've been working on this week, and it's been awesome, mate. Honestly, absolutely unreal, really cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the hidden power of Web3, right? Just the idea of building in public and building together with your community. I had seen this tweet from Stray. I wanted to just read it real quick. So he quoted somebody named Serena. She says, "What's your favorite debugging method?" And she wrote, "Me, junior developers." And his quote is, "Me, push to production and see what our Discord complains about." And I think that's huge in this space, right? Because they are your users. They are the people that care and are invested in whatever vision you have, whatever your project is creating. And so they will give you the right feedback for whatever it is you're making. So cool. Thanks, Coleman. We'll definitely come back to you. I do have more questions, but I want to go with Zachary, Terrapins. If you can share a little bit about your story, how you guys created your new team and your migration, your bridge from Terra to Polygon.
Yeah, so what most people here might not know is that Terrapins is a community takeover. There's 5 of us that when the original team decided they didn't want to run it anymore, we're just like, no, we love these things. We have to keep it going. So we managed to get all the assets and everything and keep the project alive. But what that comes with, and is particularly appropriate for building against the odds as a topic, I'm very happy when I saw that that's what we're talking about, is that you're going from one team's original vision to a takeover. And obviously, we believed in that original vision, but you get hit with a whole bunch of obstacles. You can't just keep doing exactly what's being done before. So we had half a migration done to Terra 2, the main net, and then we honored that, obviously, but with what we saw and what we wanted to build, Polygon seemed like a natural fit for. So the kind of constraints that we run into is that while it was originally a full mint out, I believe, I joined the project a little bit after the mint, but I do believe it minted out entirely 10K. But we don't see any of that, right? Because we're coming after the crash, we're coming after the treasury's gone, and we're taking over just to keep this community alive for the people that are in it, right? So that's the first thing that you kind of run into. And then you become really good at economizing everything and being realistic, both within the team and within the community, because you can't just make outlandish promises that you can't keep. You have to set goals that are attainable. So that's sort of at where we're at right now. We have a bunch of goals that we want to meet. We just sorry. So we have the game, obviously, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes with that and how it's going to work, but we're working to do that. We run puzzles in the Discord quite often. That was one of the founding things that kept the whole community together. So we encourage the community to work as a team in solving these giant puzzles that we put on. And then for Polygon to get ourselves out there, what we're doing is running one more puzzle, and then we're going to combine the first part of the game and the puzzle into one giant puzzle, utilizing all the assets that we have, and we're going to open it up to everybody in Polygon. So if you don't have a Terrapin, you'll still be able to come experience what we want to build, at least on a smaller scale, and see if it's a project that you want to join. So because it's the takeover and because we're not the original team and we have to be realistic with what we have, we need a reason for everybody to come join us. So this is sort of how we've decided to try to build up a following and really pick out the community members that want to be in this specific community, right? What we offer is puzzles. We're working on the game, and we want to bring an educational component in the long term, and really empower the community to take over and have tools and have access to build and make this truly a community-centered project. In the long term, I don't even think that us as a team will be making this decisions. I think the community will decide what we do. I think the community will build things to interact with other community members. It doesn't just have to be us doing it. The trick is to go out there and find, those 10, 20 diehard community members that you guys were talking about last week, as well as the other 100 to 1,000 people that want to hop in daily and see what's going on. And, oh, I like this kind of puzzle. I like this kind of game. I like this or that. And I want to do this one, but maybe not all of them. So that's sort of where we're at, what we've kind of learned along the way. I think that's a very broad idea for a roadmap, but I think that probably encompasses the next quite a while's worth of building for us.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I think what's cool is that you guys are creating your own place in the market in Polygon, right? If you're able to provide a unique experience of making people come in and check in and try to answer a question, try to figure out a puzzle. I feel like that alone is entertaining enough so that people can come in and at the minimum just try it out, right? And like you said, you don't know if they're going to stick around or not. That's something you can't control, but you're just creating an opportunity for them to learn about Terrapins and to learn about what it is that you're trying to do in the long term, what your vision is. And yeah, man, I mean, one of the things that attracted me to Terrapins was that just solving the puzzle because it was challenging. I remember there was a puzzle where you had to you had to like put in a code, like a number, and then once you did that, you press enter, it opened up like a new scene, and then you had to look at the art, and the art was giving you like different words, and you had to figure that out. And I could never get past that. But everybody, in the chat was just coming up with different ideas, and it was just really hard to figure out. So, but I think that makes it fun, right? And that's entertaining enough to get people curious.
Yeah, I mean, that puzzle was like 6 months long. There's people, even when I joined late, I was like, guys, what in the world is happening right now? And I had 4 people send me DMs catching me up. It was like, hey, this is where we're stuck on. Like, catch yourself up. Some fresh eyes would be great. And even though like there's a prize to it, and people are still trying to pull in more eyes to find out what this is. It's more about solving the puzzle than getting the reward at the end. It's almost a reward in itself. And that's what we want to create. We want to create an NFT experience for the people who want to experience that subject, right? So we're very, very aware that there's not that many people out there that truly love puzzles and truly love riddles and stuff like that. But our job as this sort of niche boutique project is going to be to find those people and let those people know that we're here, offer them a way to see if they like the experience, and then they can jump in if they like. And I think that really falls on us as the new team to identify and seek out ways to bring those people in while providing value to the community that's there through this experience.
Yeah, well, shout out to you, Zachary, and Map Collector, Aaron. I think you guys have been doing a great job to keep the Terrapins alive and giving them another opportunity to live here in Polygon. I'm sure that was not easy to get everything together on your own to migrate over, right? Creating the contract and doing all the technical stuff to make sure it was safe. So yeah, just shout out to you guys for continuing this.
Yeah, we appreciate that. It's definitely been a lot of work, but we're happy to do it. We don't think that there's anything more honorable than you can do to donate your time and really try to save a project that you believe in instead, because it's much easier to just go launch another project and build that hype from scratch than it is to try to claw back what other people have left, because so much of the community gets dejected. But I mean, we've got at least 4, 5, 6, maybe even like 10 hardcore community members and 5 very hardcore community members that are on the team that I'm not even counting. And as long as those people are there and they want us to keep trying to build, keep trying to do our best, we're going to work as hard as we can to deliver this NFT experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's important that you still have some people there that are paying attention. And as you guys continue to build, it's just a snowball, right? More and more people are going to come back and check in, and they'll see that there's activity and the vision that you guys have. So cool, man. Congrats on that. I wanted to check in with the rest of the people here. Matic Man, Narb, Ghost, John, Free My NFT. Any thoughts on anything that Coleman or Terrapins here have said?
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly say a common theme that I'm listening to with these guys is that they really pay attention to their community. And I know it's sort of like a cliche to talk about how, this space is so community first and community is everything. But, it's a cliche because it's true. Like everything, especially with NFTs, is all about your community. And really listening to them is super, super important because at the end of the day, the NFT space in general, every single project, this is all just one giant experiment, right? We're sort of building the plane as we're flying. Like nobody really knows the right way to go. We're all just experimenting with all these different projects, and the beautiful part about NFTs is you can release something that you're working on, get feedback from the community instantly, and go from there. So yeah, I just wanted to add and say that I completely agree with what you guys are saying, and really listening to the community and acting on how they feel is super, super important to your success, because if you continue to deliver like that, that's what's gonna, obviously put your project above others and keep that attention rolling.
Yeah, definitely. They want to feel listened to, right? They're there, they want to participate, they want to support you, but part of that is listening, and you won't always be able to do exactly what they say, but I think just listening to them, having a conversation, I think that goes a long way. Fear My NFT, go ahead.
I'm just gonna agree with that because I've been a part of two pretty large communities. One, of course, being the Trogs that they. Before I was even a team member, I would always hear them saying and hear Ahmed saying, "Hey, we're going to ask the community. We're going to ask the community. We're going to ask the community." And I never realized how important that was till I was in another community that never asked the community and just decided to make these changes. You know what I mean? They make changes, which they're fine to do. It's your community, it's your project. You can do whatever you want. But if the community doesn't know what's happening and doesn't care, then the project's probably going to die pretty quickly. So I really appreciate when people tell me what's going on, where they've been, what's happening, why things are happening the way that they are. And it is super important. I've left quite a few projects just be simply because of that, and they don't keep the community involved, and at that point when the community is not involved, it's simply no longer a community.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that too. The setting the vision as the team is important, and then combining that with the the guidance of the community goes a long way for sure. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I mean, I totally agree with what Narb was saying a minute ago about community. We purposely named ourselves Community Finance, and I'll talk a little bit more when it's my turn to talk about my project. But the other thing, what Fear was saying, before this, I ran a cloud computing company for about 20 years. And it's humorous because we call it market research, and here, if you do this right, if you build your community right, they're right there. You don't have to pay some company to go and do market research. The people that are most interested in what you're building, most interested in what you're doing, are the people that are most active in your community, and they will gladly tell you and give you direction on what you should build.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought that tweet from Straylight was right on point and hilarious because yeah, you push something out, and then once the Discord complains, that kind of helps guide your next steps. Um, so yeah, we're gonna close out in the next 8 minutes. John, yeah, if you want to share a little bit about your project, then I'll get some closing thoughts from Coleman and Zachary.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. So we're a little different than most of the group here. We're actually more of a DeFi project than we are an NFT project. We're building a stablecoin DEX. The really interesting twist that we're doing that we've not seen other organizations do is instead of incentivizing the DEX, or enhancing your incentives by staking our tokens or something like that, the tokens are almost immaterial. It's about an NFT and about the level of your NFT. And We plan to incentivize both liquidity providers as well as people that swap in our deck. So, when I say decks, I'm, something like Curve or Uniswap, but it's focused exclusively on stablecoins. And, we could get into the hows and the whys here, but it's probably the wrong group and probably wouldn't interest you that much. But the thing I wanted to share that I think is the most interesting for this group is we're planning to launch here in about a month, and we are, as a named community finance, we really want to be good members of the community, and we want to cooperate with other projects, especially in the Polygon space. And so if you're a project and you're interested in collaborating, we would love to collaborate. But more importantly, we're having a mint party. And so we're spending what we would have spent on marketing to purchase NFTs. And so partner NFTs, if you're looking to partner, we'll purchase some of your NFTs. Hopefully, in addition, maybe you give us some as well. But to give in a mint party, and then we're also doing warm-ups. We call it mint party warm-ups. So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 p.m. UTC, we're having these. And we would love to have other projects participate and be part of these and highlight you as well as ourselves.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, John. I think in general, most projects, it's necessary to be part of Twitter Spaces and collaborations with other projects. That way their community learns about other DeFi or other NFT projects, right? I think, kind of to the first topic that we were talking about, just staying aware of what's going on in the ecosystem is super valuable. And sometimes that collaboration with new projects is what makes you learn about something new, right? Something innovative, something cool that's happening in the ecosystem. So that's cool that you are doing something like that too, where you are giving away NFTs through your mint party. So shout out for that. All right, so just closing thoughts here. Coleman, just want to check in with you.
Yes, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, no worries. Can I just ask quickly a question? Terrapins. Edwin keeps calling you Zachary. Is that Zachary from our Discord Spaces general chat?
Yeah, that's me. I'm kind of all over the place.
the penny drops, dude, mate. I just want to thank you. Oh man, you're a legend. Honestly, you are you're so supportive of our community and do so much in our Discord, in our general chat and everything. Just generally just being there and turning up every day. And I haven't had a chance to tell you this, mate, but I can't believe that's you behind the Terrapins. You've never even mentioned it. We can do stuff together. Just I got DMs about Terrapins, and I've been I have been conversing with you. I didn't even realize it was you, from general chat in our Discord, mate. Let's do something a little bit more solid. I really appreciate you, everything that you do in our Discord for us. And you're not a team member, mate. Thanks so much. Honestly, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're an amazing guy. Genuinely appreciate you.
Hey, anyway. I love what you guys are doing over there. I'm happy when I have free time to chirp up and just spend some time in there.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know you do put the hours in. You probably it seems like you put more in than me in there. I totally appreciate you. Anyway, I'm digress again, but I just want to thank you, dude. I can't believe that. How strange. Small world, as they say.
Yeah. It's funny you say that as a closing thought, because what I wanted to say to everybody here is that as projects up here talking, we've all had some sort of setback or something that just hasn't quite gone right. And if you get the chance when you're in these projects, just swing by and stop in the Discord, even if it's once a week, just say something, just chat with somebody, answer a question, ask somebody how their day is going. I know we've got 5 people on our team, so we've always got somebody in there pretty much. And I know a lot of these smaller projects that got hit really hard have people who are literally just sitting there. They want somebody to come in and say hi. or do something like anything to spark any sort of conversation in there because they're building so hard behind the scenes. And sometimes it can make somebody's day for you just to pop in and ask a few questions and let them talk about what they're building and seeing so that it's posted so other people can see it. And I think that's really, really important and something as a closing thought that I'd like to get out there to everybody.
Yeah, I love that,
Yeah.
man. Go ahead, Coleman.
No, I was just going to say 100%, 100%. Our Discord is relatively busy, but this guy is definitely a standout guy. Definitely. Yeah, I agree. Awesome.
Yeah, like, you know, I work remotely, right? And for me, just the chats, the messaging is the only way that I communicate with my team. And so it's important, it's super important, you know, to have that kind of uh, layer of even just a small talk, you know, like sometimes, yeah, just throwing in some funny memes like that, that goes a long way too. Want to check it with Matic Man, Narb, any last thoughts here?
Yeah, just it's been encouraging to listen to Coleman, to listen to the Terrapins, the new team. Yeah, I just love these people, love what's going on in the ecosystem, and glad people didn't give up, just kept building, and we're going to see the fruit of that as we near another bull market in the near future.
Yeah, completely agree. Ghost, any last thoughts from you?
Yeah, between Terrapins and Baby Blues with Coleman, it goes to show just that dedication and consistency through all the odds that we all face, after the crash. And here's to future and current projects as to what you can learn from all of us.
Exactly. We keep pushing forward. We'll go with John and then Fear.
Final thoughts. I mean, I just appreciate the opportunity to work with great people. Especially, there's most of the people here I don't think I've got to work with in the past, but I've done quite a bit with Tony, the Matic Man, and what a phenomenal person. And just hearing your stories, it sounds like the rest of you are very similar.
Thank you, John. All right, Fear, last one here.
Yeah, very quickly, guys. We talk a lot about community, and I would like to make more of that happen. Now that I've introduced myself and we've gotten to know each other a little bit, I would really enjoy if you would do what the Matic Man did and go to the Troglodyte Society, go to their link tree, their Koji, and jump in the Discord, because I want to welcome you there and let you be a part of the community. And I, in turn, would like an invite to your Discords so that I can be active there, find out what you're all about, and just talk to your community and see what's going on.
Perfect. Thank you, Fear. I think that's important. Yeah, as Zachary said as well, right? Just stop by even once a week, just check in, drop a comment. That's huge for builders and for the community as well. But thanks everyone. Thank you, the speakers, for your thoughts and your opinions here. I always appreciate these spaces, and to all the listeners as well. Thank you for your time and for the comments. Shout out to everybody spending the last hour with us. So on our end, just we'll have the mint coming up for Hero on April 7th. It's free for holders, and there will be public mint as well for 10 Matic if anybody's interested in that. If there's any questions for OnePlanet, feel free to DM us. We will be having a booth at NFT NYC, so if anybody's there, come say hi. We're going to have merch. We partner with a lot of projects for that merch, so we're excited about that. We also have a side event going on, so we have that on Twitter if you want to go on and apply for that. It's free for food and drinks, and just free to attend. So we'd love to meet you guys in person. But yeah, with that, thanks again, everybody. Appreciate your time, and we'll catch you again on Sunday. We're gonna have From Idea to Launchpad Twitter Space with Straylight and Department 77, and then next Wednesday we'll be live from New York doing Twitter Space. So thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for joining us for The Landing, One Planet's weekly meeting space. Please join us again next week at the same time.